All right, so what we're going to talk about today is, does the raw vegan diet, does a fruitarian diet make you more zen? I'm somebody who definitely used to get really stressed out, definitely used to put a lot of pressure on myself, had a lot of anxiety and panic attacks in the past. I actually made a video about that, I'll link it below. But I'm basically somebody who, in the moment, didn't have a lot of control of my emotions. Now today I want to give a little example of a situation that I ran into, and I wouldn't normally bring the situation back up, but I felt that as a learning experience and as a situation that I could use to illustrate gaining more control over your own awareness and your own actions and emotions in the moment where it's actually useful to you and actually practical to you. I do believe that the raw vegan diet and a lot of fruit and a lot of sugars and just being well nutritioned in general is going to help you out, like in many aspects of life. But in this one particular example, today I was at Whole Foods of all places, and I was there with my mom and my grandma, and we were shopping for like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. I've been kind of teaching my grandma how to go raw, which is really cool. And so we go to the checkout line, and I hesitate to say this because I feel truly now that what you put your focus and energy on, you're going to see more of that. So whether you put it on bad, the negative, or the positive in life, you're going to see more of that. So like I said, for this learning experience, I'll rehash the situation, but what basically happened was we were walking up to the checkout line. There was a guy there. He had one of those hand baskets, and he was in line, but he was about 8 or 10 feet, 3 meters plus behind the cash register. And when somebody's moving through the line, you've got the space behind them, and generally the next person goes up and puts their stuff there. Well, this guy didn't do that. To top it off, he was sitting there on the phone. Like I said, what I didn't want to bring focus to was, that's sort of a pet peeve of mine, is when people are in public and they're just yipping away on the phone and they're not paying attention to what's going on around them. So that's okay. When people make mistakes, that's all good. But what happened was I actually walked right past him, right to the cash register. I didn't even acknowledge the guy, and he quickly said, "Hey, I'm actually next." And so I kind of looked at him like, "Oh, okay, sorry," and I kind of moved back. And my mom made a comment to me saying, "Oh, like you didn't know, or like it was hard to tell, huh?" or something like that. And like she was confused, I was confused, but I just said sorry, it's all good. And I would have thought nothing else of it. However, the guy had to take it upon himself to kind of look back and make another comment towards my mom saying, "Well, I was closer." Like, it's all pretty obvious, kind of giving her that look. And I could tell, and my mom is not the type to go out of her way to say something nasty back to the guy or anything like that. But I am, or I used to be. And so, and I'm not a tough guy or anything like that. It's nothing like that. But when somebody makes a really rude remark, especially to like your mom in public for something that's a completely honest mistake, after you say sorry about it, ooh, we're crossing some boundaries there. And so, my mom just looked at me like, whoa, like, that's kind of rude of that guy. And I agreed. Now, at that point, he had triggered me, and I knew it. And I knew that if he said anything else, if he was going to go for round 3, in that moment, I probably would have said some more nasty stuff back to him. And at that point, when you cross that threshold, you're not really caring what's going to happen. I mean, you're in the middle of Whole Foods, like, what's the worst going to happen? Anyway, so the guy goes ahead and he does his stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, like, here's the threshold of where, I won't take any more crap past this point. He had me about to here, okay? And so if he said anything else, I would have been above here. But what I realized was, in that moment, I'm like, you know what? Even if, and it took me a few seconds to realize this, but I'd say about 2 or 3 seconds to realize this. But I said to myself, you know what? Even if he turns around and says something else, even if it's super nasty, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm really sorry about what happened. Please go ahead and handle your business, and we'll be on our way as well. Like nothing. And I know a lot of people out there, the East Coasters, they'd be like, fuck that, you're a pussy, blah, blah, blah. Like, you got to stand up for yourself. He's disrespecting your mom. Look, man, if you focus on all that stuff, you're going to find it everywhere you go. And I see this time and time again with friends that are like that. And they seem to just have these situations follow them all the time. And although you kind of, in the moment, it looks like they kind of did the right thing, you're actually going to realize that afterwards they can't let it go. You know, if they truly got the last word, then why do they continually bring that situation back up throughout the day? And why do they continue to sort of replay that in their mind and not for the better? I mean, they're always, you know, whenever you get in some sort of verbal altercation with somebody, you're always thinking about afterwards, like, oh, I should have said this, or, you know, it would have been so much better if I did this, or, you know, oh man, he said one more word, I was going to beat him up, something like that. Like, dude, that is not in your best interests. So that's what I realized. And actually, although it took me a few more minutes to kind of just completely bring myself down to complete neutral, I was able to just completely blow that situation off after about 5 minutes. So once I got back in the car, loaded the groceries, started driving away, I mean, I could feel my tension, my heart rate, my stress completely gone, and I actually completely forgot about the situation for several hours until a friend of mine was texting me about like a similar thing that happened. I was like, oh, you know, this whole raw vegan Zen thing, and we started talking about it, and I only brought up that situation to her as sort of a learning experience that I personally had today, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys too. So whether it's the diet, whether it's the whole lifestyle, whether it's the fact that I know that I'm moving to Hawaii in a few days, I don't know, but all of this stuff seeks to bring you to a higher level. And I do think it's really critical to become really well-rounded, not just in your nutrition, but also in your mind state. Anyways, if you guys have any more experiences similar to that, where you're able to get control of yourself and sort of step out of your own body and look at yourself and be more aware of your actions and your emotions to better yourself, please share below. I'd love to hear it. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to keep making more content for you guys, and hope you enjoyed. Bye.